Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these really cute witchy spell books. This is the perfect type of project for Halloween home decor and it is very beginner friendly. So I hope you all enjoy this tutorial and let's get into it. Okay, so for the spell books I'm going to start off with this dark purple yarn. This is just a double knit acrylic yarn and I've got about 50 grams of this, but even a small scrap amount like 20 grams is fine for each colour. So this is going to be the top spell book that I'm going to do, and I'm going to be including a cross stitch design on top. Then for my next book I'm going to be using this sparkly light blue double knit acrylic yarn. And finally I've got this lilac double knit acrylic yarn as well. I'm also going to be using this 2.5mm hook, some scissors and a sewing needle. So I'm going to show you how you can make each book. I'm going to be using the lilac yarn for the demonstration and I've already completed my other two small panels. So I'm just going to take my lilac yarn and I'm going to make a slip knot. And then with my hook I'm going to chain 17. Okay, so once you have your chain of 17, you just want to flip the chains over so that we're working on the back of the chain. And we're going to be going into these back bumps. You see these horizontal lines going across the back of the chain, and I'm going to insert my hook into where that second back bump is. So that is the bump right behind the second chain from the hook. So I'm going to insert my hook into that second back bump and then I'm just going to make a single crochet. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through that back bump and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And then to the next back bump I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through those last 2 loops. And I'm going to continue that single crochet all the way across, and by the end of the row you should have 16 single crochets. Okay, so once you've reached the end of the row, you just want to start your next row and you want to just turn the work around. And we're going to be just making one single crochet into each of those top V's all the way across. And I'm going to be looping in this tail as I go. So I'm just going to insert my hook where that first V is, right there. And I'm going to firstly loop over that tail over the hook, and I'm just going to hold it there with my finger so that it's looped over. And then I'll insert my hook into that V and do my single crochet as normal. So yarn over and pull through, pulling the hook underneath that tail as well. And then I'll yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And as you can see, that has tucked in that tail nicely. So I'm going into the next single crochet now, again looping that tail over the hook, inserting my hook into the V stitch, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through, making sure that hook pulls under the tail, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So I'm going to continue single crocheting all the way across, and you'll notice that the tail will weave itself in. And then once you have completed the second row, you just want to repeat the second row where you just turn the work and make one single crochet into each stitch all the way across until you have 23 rows in total. So once you have completed your 23 rows, it should look something like this. So it's literally just rows and rows of single crochet, and then once you have completed that panel you just want to chain 1 and fasten off. This is what it should look like once you have completed all of your 23 rows, and then it should just fold in half nicely. So you're going to want to pick one of your colours to basically sew the cross stitch design of the crescent moon. I decided to go with the dark purple because I think that it has a nice contrast, and I have plenty of tutorials about how to cross stitch on crochet, so I'll link one of them in the description. The graph is also linked in the description below. If you would prefer to do like a tapestry crochet, then you could just add that into your single crochets, the rows that you make. And then I also decided to add these little crosses for like the twinkles around the moon. So you want to make sure that whatever one you decide to cross stitch on, that you do it first before you attach any of the seams together. You then just want to grab your yarn and your sewing needle, and you want to just sew the seams up together with the same colour, and I'm going to be basically just weaving it back and forth. So I'm just going to start from the inside and then work across, and you just want to make sure that all of the seams are joined together, and you want to make sure that once you reach about the bottom corner here, that you then lightly stuff the work as well. So I'm just kind of going back and forth like this. Okay, so I'm now just going to stuff the rest of it just with some yarn scraps. I'm not doing too much stuffing because I don't want it to be too thick and then they can't kind of hold their balance on top of each other. And then once you're happy with how much it is stuffed, you can then just sew up the rest of the seam with the same lilac colour. So once you have completed sewing all of the seams up, you then just want to take your hook and some white yarn, and then you just want to make a slip knot like so, and we're going to be inserting the hook into that top corner. If you're right-handed, you want to sew it, you want to insert your hook into the bottom corner, down at the bottom of the spine, and then work from the bottom up and across. Because I'm left-handed, I'm starting here, so I'm just going to insert my hook into the corner, and then I'm going to pull my white yarn through like that, and then I'll just chain one to attach it. And we're basically just going to be making slip stitches all the way across the top, the side and the bottom. So I'm just kind of finding the next available loop across the top, and I'm just going to make a slip stitch. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through the lilac stitch, and then pull that first loop through the second. And I'm just basically completing that all the way across the top and down the side and the bottom. Again, inserting my hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then pull the first loop through the second, like that. Into the next stitch, insert my hook, yarn over and pull through, and pull the first loop through the second. So I'm just completing that now all the way across the top of the book. And then once you get to the corner, you just want to continue down the side and then across the bottom as well. Okay, so now I've got to the other end. I'm literally just going to chain one and turn the work, and I'm going to do another row of slip stitches all the way around the border. So you just want to insert your hook into that slip stitch. It might be a little bit tight, but you just want to push it through and then just make your slip stitch as normal, and you just want to repeat that into every single white stitch. And then once I get to the top corner, I'm just going to chain one and fasten off, and then weave in all the ends. Once you have completed all three of your books, you then just want to sew each one to the other. So I placed the light blue book at the bottom and then used the lilac yarn to sew them together, and I placed them kind of twisted so that it looked like they were kind of messily stacked. And then I did the exact same thing with the lilac yarn and sewed the top book to the middle book like that, again making sure they were tilted so that they had a bit more of a messy look. And then once you have done that, all of your books are complete. So I hope you all found this tutorial helpful, and if you have any ideas of what you'd like me to make next, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!